An old grandfather once taught his grandson a lesson that money could never buy. The boy grew up in a small village where life was simple, but his thoughts were heavy. From a very young age, he believed that money was everything. He watched people struggle. He saw arguments in homes, and slowly fear settled inside his heart. He began saving every single coin he received, not because he had a dream, but because he was afraid. Afraid of the future, afraid of poverty, afraid of losing control. While other children laughed and played, the boy counted his coins again and again. He never shared sweets. He never spent money on joy. Even when he was hungry, he hesitated. The grandfather noticed this. He was a quiet man, full of patience and wisdom. He did not scold the boy. He did not lecture him. He simply watched and waited for the right moment. One evening, as the sun slowly disappeared behind the trees, the grandfather called the boy. "Come with me," he said gently. They walked through the village path, past small houses, dusty roads, and familiar faces. Near the market, they saw a poor man sitting on the ground. His clothes were torn, his eyes were tired, his hands were empty. The grandfather stopped. He turned to the boy and said softly, "Buy him some food." The boy froze. His heart started beating faster. Slowly, his hand went to the small cloth pouch tied to his waist. Inside were the coins he had saved for months. His mind was filled with questions. What if I need this money tomorrow? What if something bad happens? What if I lose everything? The boy looked at the man, then at his grandfather, then back at his coins. Minutes felt like hours. The grandfather did not hurry him. He only said one sentence. Money that is never used becomes a burden, not a blessing. Those words stayed in the air. The boy took a deep breath. With trembling hands, he opened the pouch and gave the coins. The poor man's eyes filled with tears. He folded his hands in gratitude, and something unexpected happened. The boy felt lighter. For the first time, his chest did not feel tight. For the first time, fear loosened its grip. For the first time, he felt peace. As they walked back home, the village felt different. The same road, the same houses, but a different heart. The grandfather finally spoke. "Money is important," he said calmly, "but it should serve your life, not control it. When money becomes your master, fear follows. When money becomes your servant, freedom follows." The boy listened carefully. That night he could not sleep. He thought about his life, about how money had quietly become his prison. Days passed. The boy slowly changed. He still saved money, but with wisdom, not fear. He learned to spend when needed, to give when possible, to enjoy life without guilt. Years later, the boy grew into a man. He faced difficulties, he faced losses, but he was never controlled by money. He remembered his grandfather's words whenever fear tried to return. Real wealth is not what you hold tightly. Real wealth is knowing when to let go. And that simple lesson, learned on a quiet village road, stayed with him forever.